Last pod we talked about NICKMERCS. Honestly, it wasn't even on the topic sheet. I just saw it on my timeline, brought it up. But more news has followed up and come about the whole situation. More specifically, and truly, this is the reason why I wanted to bring it up again. It was TimTheTatman. So TimTheTatman followed NICKMERCS' lead and requested Call of Duty to take off his, what is it, like his pack or whatever, his
skin.
Yeah,
Pause.
his skin.
Pause.
Operator.
Yeah. So he requested COD to take off his skin. And I just think ever since the pod, like, the conversation has just evolved, and people have been talking about it more. So I want to bring it back to the pod, see if we can elaborate on things more.
Start playing noises that don't necessarily fit. I mean, this is about people who have fuck you money, and you know they stand together and all that stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, all of them are bad people to me. Fuck it, I'll just go out on that ledge. Oh wait, should I be like on the same page as everybody, Omar?
Yeah, hold on, bro. I don't know.
No, you already took the stance. It's
all right, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna switch it up every pod. I'm gonna just go. I'm a zag, and then next pod I'm a zag.
Will that get you a free HOTY?
I should have. I wanted it.
Oh wow.
Because we was gonna talk about the Home Depot girl, and I was gonna say some agreeable ass shit, but all right, I'll zag.
Just say what you actually think. Just try that one.
Nope, I'm gonna. I'm zagging, motherfucker. So yeah, I mean, all these guys are weirdos. They're scumbags. That's disgusting. All of them are scumbags, and to support NICKMERCS in the ignorance that he's portraying on these platforms is stupid as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not stupid. It's really telling as to who they are. All y'all don't like gay niggas. No cap. Y'all don't like gay kids. Same thing with Bezos just said. The confirmation bias is insane. The stuff that we make a big deal on the internet.
You just did it.
Who? Me?
You talked about like 2 creators siding with NICKMERCS and said everyone doesn't like gay people.
I didn't say that. I
Mm-hmm.
said everyone doesn't like gay people?
Well, I can't say the word you specifically said, but I'm just saying. I can't say it, bro.
Well, I can't say what you actually said, but I can't say the word. But you know what you said. You know the words.
What?
You know the words.
I can't say it, bro. My bad. I can't quote you, bro. Damn.
Oh, man.
I
You
guess
said y'all.
I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know.
Hey,
I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know, man. So hey, Bezos has no leg to stand on. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know.
You can't
I don't
quote
know
you.
what I said. Yeah,
I'm
can't
sick, bro.
he can't quote
I'm
it.
sick, bro.
But yeah, the stuff that that's so funny.
Oh my god.
The stuff that people get so upset about is so small. I asked my cousin what they learned this year. They didn't learn about gay people. I ain't gonna lie. They didn't have no gay parades at school. They didn't have no LGBTQ plus months at school.
Why would they have a parade?
Why would they have a plus month in school if the month is June? And
They
they're
be
out of school by
saying,
June?
they be saying they push it, man. I don't know. They be saying that they push it on the kids. So I said, what did they be pushing? All my cousins said they don't be pushing that gay shit. Like, come on, bro.
I don't. Okay.
You pushing that trans stuff. That's what they said. I'm just letting y'all know what they said, man.
Sage.
Why you call my name? What I gotta do with this shit?
All right. Well,
Your take, Sage. Your take.
I'm just letting shit rock. Damn.
I'll go. I got.
The fuck you want me to say? Okay.
they not pushing that gay shit in Georgia. I'm letting you know.
Oh,
Not in
God.
Georgia.
Ain't that confirmation bias?
I asked for the curriculums. I done seen all of them. I seen all of Georgia's curriculums. Trust
All-
me, Brian.
No, not just Georgia. I'm talking about all 50 states in America.
I'm talking about Georgia.
He's talking about specifically Georgia, though.
Yeah,
he was
Brian
talking
Kemp.
about
Hey,
Georgia.
I'm gonna let you know. Brian Kemp said we're not teaching that gay shit. Our governor, he said we not. They took the word. They just had a meeting. For all jokes aside, they just had a meeting. They're gonna take diverse out of all curriculum. They're gonna take the
my
word
God.
diverse.
Damn, really?
You can't say the word diverse anymore. You have to say different. You can't say diverse. Yeah, I'm dead ass too. I'm dead ass. I'll pull it up. You can't
That
say
sounds like some
diverse no
Georgia
more.
shit to me.
Hey,
That's,
it is what it is.
sounds like some
Man.
Georgia shit.
Ting sent that to me. I was like, what am I supposed to do with this, dog?
That's corny. I'll say that. That's corny.
It's too complicated. Look, I got it right here. The state of Georgia has decided to remove words like diversity, equity, and inclusion from its teaching preparation standards, stating that these terms have become difficult to interpret and want to use simpler language. Terms diverse and diversity will be replaced with the word different.
Inclusion at best, crazy stretch, kinda, maybe. Diverse and diversity, that's just stupid.
Is he conservative?
What is equity?
Yes.
Though?
He
Yeah, I'm
is.
about to say if he's taking diverse out of the curriculum, he's definitely conservative.
He's like one of Trump's friends. Like they like friends for real.
Removing equity? What does they even accomplish?
I don't know.
I
I thought these
just
were like
equity.
I thought these guys were like the freedom of speech warriors.
Don't talk about money, equity.
No.
The fuck?
Well, let me. I'll give
It's a
my 2
finance
cents.
term. What?
I'll give my 2 cents then. Fuck it. There's 2 types of people in this world. There are the people who obviously they're going to be concerned about their bag. They're going to be concerned about their image and be like, "Hey, this nigga's in hot water. I'm gonna distance myself away from this person to make sure what I got good is staying good and going good." Fine. And then there's people that see they're making enough money and stand with their guy. They stand with their friends. They hold morality and their morals above money, which is fine depending on what those morals is and what you're standing for. Um, everybody know I had the take of I don't think that what Nick necessarily said was too crazy, but I understand why they took the. I understand because of the timing and what the reply was under. I understand why he took his skin off. Understand it 100%. Call of Duty has every right to do that. It's their company. They do what they want to do. But I don't think what he said was too crazy. I don't think it was cancel worthy. And TimTheTatman, a parent, by the way, he has a child who he talked to NICKMERCS, and on his stream, seemed like he did not think that he went too far or said anything too crazy. So, in solidarity or whatever, because again, they're friends. They got their skins together. Their operators together. They play the game together. He said, "Fuck it. If your skin's not there, take my skin off too, because that's my guy. We came in this together, and then fuck it." It's simply 2 types of people. The type of person that be like, "Okay, you fucked your bag up. I'm not gonna fuck my bag up," and the person that be like, "Well, we came in together. We gonna do. I'm leaving the shit with you." Now I heard people say, "Oh, it's hypocritical for him to do that, and he's still gonna play the game." Last time I checked, NICKMERCS ain't banned from playing Call of Duty. His skin's just not in the game. So all that man had to do was say, "Take my skin off. I'm gonna keep doing what I do. I can still play the game. Still got this, that, and the third." I don't think it's wild for parents, whether you agree or not, if they want to have that conversation with their kids, they reserve the right to do that. That's their children. If they're going to have that conversation. Now, whether they have the right combo, whether they have a proper or educated conversation, 100% on them. And I employ them, anybody that wants to do that and take that task of removing the responsibility from the school, if you're going to do that with your child, be 100% unbiased, 100% factual, and know what you're talking about. Don't not want the schools to tell them just so you can tell them some dumb shit or some biased information about the information. Be honest about it. Be real. Be 100% genuine. That's all I would ask. Now, are they going to do that? I have no fucking idea. I don't know TimTheTatman personally. I don't know NICKMERCS personally. So it's up to them if they're going to do that. But I think any parent reserves the right to be able to determine what they are and what they are not okay with their kids learning about or being taught in school.
Why you keep emphasizing the parent point?
Because I think that's a big thing when it comes to why TimTheTatman took his skin off. He was like, he talked to his friend, another parent, and he probably aligned with his thinking. He probably wanted to teach his child about whatever the fuck he wants to teach his child with. It's just, and parents and non-parents just probably have different outlooks. We've had this conversation on Spaces, Omar. You've seen this conversation on the timeline. Some people literally just have, motherfuckers with kids have different outlooks than motherfuckers that don't got kids sometimes. And these is one of those situations. He probably seen what Nick went through, talked to Nick, agreed with Nick, and in solidarity, take my skin off, because subconsciously he probably agrees. And I'd be fucked up if he agrees, but his skin is still on there. What happened?
Nothing. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, if he agrees.
I understand.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
What are we? All right, fuck y'all.
Nah, you're good. My fault.
He said pause, bro.
Oh my god.
It
Anyway,
didn't hit. It didn't hit.
You're a child. Be
It
so.
didn't hit.
anyway, motherfuckers saying them being parents don't mean anything. You don't have a child. Like I already know you're a virgin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it matters. I'll say this though. As far as I remember and understand, when you sign that packet of paper at the beginning of the school year, you registering your child to be in school, all that stuff, you relinquish parental rights to that school to an extent. There's an extent in which you don't, but for the most part, you do. So with that being said, I think some of that comes with, what they can and can't learn or what can and can't be taught. Now, they do still give you some say-so. That's what parent-teacher conferences and PTA meetings and all that shit is for. But for the most part, when you sign that paper, you kind of relinquish that. And if they feel like this shit is standard, and that goes for anything, they could be teaching your kids how to fucking bake bread. You kind of relinquish some of that. You got to get over that. People got to get over that stuff.
To me, my question is just what is like overly pushing the gay agenda to kids, to like Nick and TimTheTatman, and if so, like, is the education system actually doing that? Because if they're not, I just feel like it was just like, I think Sage said it last pod, it just felt like so random. Like the tweet wasn't even about the kids. It was just a general statement about the viewpoints on the LGBTQ community, and just out of nowhere, hey, just don't put that shit on the gays. Jesus Christ, just don't push that shit on the kids.
Don't put a gay agenda on gay people.
I fucked it up.
Crazy.
No, but yeah, not to echo what I said last time, but yeah, I'm pretty much unmoved. That's why I was kind of cool with going last year. I'm pretty much unmoved still. If we're debating whether the extent is actually happening or what that extent is, as long, my personal opinion, because they don't promote this in school, whether it's with straight and or whatever sexuality the child is, as long as the school isn't telling you, yeah, so you know what, Sonny, just go out there and suck some dick. Like, as long as they're not just telling the kids to, like, this is what you have to try to do or some shit. I still think all of this is just very, very, very random, and it spiraled out of nowhere. I think it was just poor taste, and it's kind of a bag fumble, but they have a bag, so it's not exactly like the end of the world for bro. But it's just not smart. Ultimately, that's why I can't take this topic but so seriously, because all of this started from a really not smart business move. Now, if we're talking just general opinion, then we can dive into what the general opinion is. But if we're talking just the move, it's not that smart.
Let me say, I'm a person that definitely subscribes to the belief that when it comes to LGBTQ awareness and tolerance, definitely should be taught in school, but it should be taught in the same breath that they teach sexual education. Exactly. So most people, 5th grade was the normal thing. I know Omar in the space said 4th grade for him, but 5th grade is when I was taught, and a lot of other people was taught the basis of sexual education. That should be when they teach the basics of LGBTQ, at least tolerance at the very least. When you go to middle school and take your first health class, and they dive deep a little bit into what sexual education is, you might dive a little deeper into more LGBTQ. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say? Alphabet community topics. They should dive
gay
a little
niggas,
deep into
bro.
it.
You can say gay
yes,
niggas.
Gay niggas. There you go. Now, my issue is I don't think that because people was trying to get the whole Pride Month in schools type thing ordeal. I think that's what the issue was originally with the TimTheTatman thing. Like, that was the whole original tweet. There were anti-gay parents versus the pro-LGBTQ parents wanting to get the Pride Month. Yeah, I don't think there should be a Pride Month in school, just like I don't think there should be a Black History Month in school. I feel like Black history is American history. You should throw that shit in the mix with regular teachings. For the simple fact, schools don't do a good job of actually teaching Black history. They teach the same shit they've been teaching my entire life in school. Every Black History Month, George Washington Carver, Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, slavery. That was it. There was no real extension for real, and I went to school on both coasts. It just didn't do nothing for me. It felt weird. Now, if other niggas learned more, kudos to y'all. From my experience, they don't really teach shit And my theory is if you put a Pride Month in school, if they say, okay, October is going to be Pride Month in schools, I don't think they're going to teach enough about Pride Month. They're going to do the same thing they did with Black History Month. They're going to get bare bones. This is the first gay fucking Michael Sam was the first gay football player. Jason Collins was the first gay basketball player. Lil Nas X is the first successful openly gay rapper. And then that's it. That's what kids are going to be learning for the
Name
next 10
another
years.
famous gay person.
Name another famous gay person. Elton John.
All right, name another one that's not in entertainment.
Name another one that's not entertainment. A famous gay person is not in entertainment.
That's not in entertainment.
Brittany Griner.
Name another one that's not in sports.
Oh my fucking God.
I just want to know. I just want to know.
That's not entertainment or in sports. So what movies and acting that be considered entertainment, right?
Yeah. Anybody can jump in. Jump in. Not in sports, not in entertainment.
I know that Jamal was gay in Empire. Does that count?
Birdman.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know 10 celebrities. That's unfair for me.
Famous gay that's not an athlete or in entertainment. What the fuck?
I'm caping right now.
What am I supposed to name? A famous astronaut? A famous gay
astronaut?
Queen
Latifah is one.
That's entertainment. You can't do that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He said no entertainment, no athlete.
I don't want to be PC. I'm just asking.
I don't.
Do y'all
a gay politician? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to name now? If there's no entertainment and no athlete, what?
Yeah, you can name gay politicians, gay historians.
I don't know a gay politician.
Okay. If you don't know anyone,
I don't be peeing.
Nigga said Zaya Wade. Oh my God.
I don't know who fucking who at the end of the night.
Oh, she's trans.
Anyway, like I was saying, that would be my only...
We about to cut you. We about to cut you.
I can't even ask, bro.
All I'm saying is that would be my that would be my drawback. I don't think schools do a good enough job of handling these like topics and situations in school. So either put it in regular curriculum and just teach it alongside everything else, and leave it at that.
I just felt like the go ahead, Zay.
I think when it comes to like the hypothetical Pride Month in school thing, because Pride Month's in June, so yeah, it can't happen. But even if it could, I think the hypothetical issue isn't necessarily removing Black History Month and like therefore adding. My bad. Let me start it over. I don't think the solution is to remove both necessarily. I think it's just to be smart about the subject because race and sexuality themselves are not congruent. So you don't have to go about them in a congruent manner. There's nothing a child can do about essentially being born Black and wanting to desire what people that look like him have done. The same way, if a person discovers that they are gay, they want to see what people like them have done. So, but ultimately, it's not like a gay person and a straight person can't not do the same shit. So it's different. And so I don't know exactly how you would go about representing that. I'm going to admit I am not educated, savvy enough to plan said curriculum. But what I do know is I do think if June could be in October, I think it's perfectly fine. You just have to be smart enough and not try to compare it one to one because they're not the same thing. You don't have to celebrate them the same way. It can just be an event. It could just be a party for all we fucking know. You could have some sexual classes that have a deeper curriculum into those situations, what those kids could potentially go through type shit. But you don't have to like Omar just did, funny enough, you don't have to be fake about it. You don't have to look up 20 autobiographies about Lil Nas X. Like you don't have to get weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to cap.
Let me say this because there was like a mass movement about Black history in the yesteryears of like our parents and grandparents and stuff like that, and what that looked like was more of a humanization of these people. So funny enough, like when I made the statement that posed the question that I posed, that would be the stuff that we're talking about. I don't know what, and I'm thinking about it in a literal sense. I don't know what gay tolerance class looks like or lesbian tolerance class looks like. To me, it's along the lines of, hey, these people do exist and this person was gay and they wrote legislation or they were an advocate for, or, you know, their message was that it's okay to be gay. So, and not to specifically pick on you, but to specifically pick on you, Damo, when you say like, I think 5th grade is a good grade to teach gay tolerance. What is that? Does that like, okay, once we 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. All right. Now, about to introduce a new concept to y'all. this thing called gay people. They exist, and we're cool with them.
Well, no, it will be
And
the
we're
same.
cool with it.
It'll be the
Stupid.
No.
That's stupid.
Okay, now I feel like chat when they talking about me. I feel like niggas being obtuse. I feel like it's the same way as in introducing sexuality to kids. You sit them down and you be like, "Hey, look, we're about to have this topic. I know y'all might know X, Y, and Z, but we're gonna go over the basics. The same, like I said, the same breath that you're introducing sexuality to fifth graders or fourth graders in your case, because in Georgia's fourth grade, you introduce the tolerance of gays, or you introduce whatever you want the introduction to it to be. Just like with the introduction of sex, okay, we're just gonna label the body parts and probably what they do. Okay, we're gonna label the every spectrum of sexuality that we know of or whatever it is, and we're gonna go from there. It's just a starting point. You have to start somewhere when it comes to sexual education. There you go. You start somewhere when it comes to LGBTQ elemental P.
It's the tolerance thing that's like, I'm like, okay.
Well, then, because I'm pretty sure sitting there saying, "Oh, we're going to teach your kids about gay sex," isn't really going to be appealing to a bunch of parents. Or I don't know how we're going to put it. I just said tolerance. I don't know. The phrasing I've heard niggas say, including you in spaces, was just tolerance of gays. So I thought that was an acceptable thing. Now, if tolerance ain't it, then fuck me.
It's you. You put it in your own words. I'm just talking about the concept of, all right, this is American history. We go through this period, this period, this period. We get to the 70s, right? All right, we're in the 70s. This is so and so. They got a mass amount of votes, and some of the things that they, contributed to society was, railroads. I don't know, schools, and they were an advocate for gay rights. Okay, that's it. Keep it pushing. Boom. That's cover some gay niggas.
Then teaching the history, or you can just teach or start introducing people to really what happened in the past, which was there was a lot of homosexuality in the past, in the Roman times. Niggas was doing gay shit back then. Actually talk about it instead of just acting like the shit didn't happen or acting like or rewriting history. Tell the truth. Them Roman niggas was fucking, or them Roman niggas was introducing sexual, like they were fluent with their sexuality type shit. It does. I mean, I get what you're saying. You can start talking about the current gay figures and move forward, but you also can talk about the past historical gay figures that niggas didn't really want to talk about. A lot of people probably didn't know Alexander the Great was really fucking the niggas he was going to war with, but he was.
Shouts out to the gay.
About him conquering and moving with the bitches.
All them kings and all that slaying. You ain't heard about one bitch.
Niggas was
I'm
trolling, back then.
but I know it's a serious. I'm fucking around, y'all.
No, you can catch me in the mix.
I'm not gonna. The only thing I have to say to this conversation was, I was rewatching the last pod, and I just felt like the conversation was just like all over the place. Maybe it was because like we didn't know it was a topic going into it, but like we were having like two conversations at once. I feel like the conversation of whether NICKMERCS is dumb or not is completely separate from if the tweet was problematic.
Retweet.
Like, does that make sense?
Yep.
Right, and then also the conversation regarding if COD should have removed Nick's skin is different from the conversation from if they can or cannot. Because I'm like from that last pod, Omar was talking about like, yo, it's not up to us to remove like whether or not we wouldn't remove Nick. It's up to Call of Duty because they're the brand that's paying Nick. But that conversation is completely different from were they right or wrong to do that. It's kind of like when we talk about Twitch TOS, like legally speaking, yes, Twitch is in their rights to enforce TOS, but the conversations people have been continuously having is, yo, are they right or not for doing so?
But
even though that's the rules.
But that goes in hand in hand to me to say that they're wrong. Oh, you're wrong for doing that. How? You know my checkbook? Like, do you know my pockets like that? Like if we owned Activision, right? And we had all these backers and donors and stuff like that. And somebody came out and said some anti-gay stuff, right? Now our backers and everybody, they're texting us, yo, what's up, bro? Y'all got James out there saying that gay. Listen, second quarter, we already gave you your check, but third quarter, if James is still on y'all platform, I ain't gonna lie, that check is gonna stop. This is in the contract clause that we have for the fiscal year of 2023. We'll stop that money from coming in. What would y'all say? Y'all would want to cut James, right?
Yeah, if he's fucking, if he's doing some shit that either A, I don't fuck with, or B, is immediately affecting the bag, or C, both, yeah, get him out of here, right? Am I overthinking this?
I just don't think they go hand in hand because let me bring up another example. Let me bring up another example. Like let's say it's I don't know, it's July, and again we're being played by Barstool Sports, and I tweet out Asian Lives Matter.
Okay.
Or Asian Lives Matter, and then they fire me because they don't want to be involved in the politics of Asian Lives Matter. Are you gonna sit up here and say, "Hey, that's their book"? That's their bag. Is up to them. I mean, you know.
So you tweeted and then they cut you? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So you tweeted they cut you because they think they don't. I mean, then I'd be like,
or like don't support the movement or whatever. But that's what I'm saying though. The conversation between whether or not they are in their rights to do that and whether or not they are right to do that are two completely different things. That's what I was thinking of. My bad. Stop Asian hate. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
I was trying to think of it. My bad, gang. My bad.
Nigga said ALM. That's hilarious. What's it called? I mean, yes, I think it's a case by case thing. If again, if the business, so I'm on your side, we're both getting the same check, and then essentially they cut you because you tweet something, and then they're like, "What am I gonna do?" Is that what you're asking? I'm sorry.
It's not even an ask. It's more so just the concept of whether or not, like the conversation between a company being able to do or not do something is completely different from if they are morally right to do that thing. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder where y'all stand on that. Nah, Omar and Sage, if Souls tweets out, stop Asian hate, and whatever company, and the company we're getting paid by is like, hey, listen, I ain't with that shit.
We don't fuck with this shit.
We don't fuck with that shit. And they like, and they try to, and
what the fuck?
And they cut, they cut Souls, and they try to cut Souls, and then inevitably that fucks up with our bag. Are y'all gonna be like, hey, nah, Souls, you fucking up. We want the bag, or are we going with Souls?
In that specific situation, I'm with Souls, because what the fuck? Like,
I think that there's a fundamental difference in the question that you're asking and what's being proposed. But if
it's
the
just
question,
what y'all think is morally right.
No. If the question though is, were they in the right to do it? Because that's the question. Is the company in the right to do it? Yeah, they're right to do it. They're in their right to do it. To me, they're in their right to do it. If we said the same thing about BLM, like there's companies that you can't go to and start spewing your political rhetoric at it. I understand that, like going into job hunts and all that stuff. Same thing me and B-Souls talk about when we talk about applying for jobs and stuff. You might get to a job and you can't even if your shit is pro somebody. And I think that's the difference in the conversation that we're having versus NICKMERCS, because in that conversation, the NICKMERCS is anti somebody. The conversation that B-Souls is having is pro somebody. Now there's context and all that stuff in it, but there's certain conversations you can't go spew political things, even if it's pro something. You can't go to companies and say Black Lives Matter and all lives matter.
Yeah, I think
you're missing it.
Am I missing it?
I don't think anyone is disagreeing that said company is not in their rights to fire me or get my bag away. No one is disagreeing with that. But you specifically said that those two things are intertwined. Their ability to do so and whether or not like it's right for them to do so. What I'm saying is those are two completely separate different things. So going back to my example, do you think they are morally right to remove me from whatever the fuck we're doing just because I tweeted out stop Asian hate?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Go ahead, Sage.
Yeah, the answer is yeah. My answer. So I'm based off of a moral compass here, and then if it's a pretty neutral moral ground, at that point I'm gonna think, was it necessary? So with NICKMERCS, for example, the conversation of when kids are supposed to learn about these kind of things, that's its own thinking piece that, to be honest, both sides have compelling arguments to the point where I'm pretty neutral on the whole thing. It's like, okay, on one hand, yeah, it's a child. On the other hand, okay, it's a child. Like, grow up, nigga. So I 100% could see that. So at that point, I'm like, okay, now why did you tweet that? And was it really necessary? Could the situation have been avoided? And when you look at the NICKMERCS situation, 100%. In this situation, Souls is just chilling, laid up, maybe seeing something on TV, maybe scrolled, and then just tweeted what he tweets. At that point, they are allowed to, but I don't think it's morally right, because I think it's just like, why? Why is this an issue type shit? So at that point, I don't want to be associated with them. I'm not this person that's gonna take every situation with the same exact criteria on it. I'm very much like, are you weird or not type shit? And if you're not weird, would you doing something necessary? If they explicitly told souls not to tweet something like that, not that we're against it, but we just don't want to push a political agenda right now. We're just trying to get more fans or something like that. And if souls directly goes against that, I'm gonna still be on his side because what he's saying isn't necessarily morally wrong, but I am gonna think souls. In hindsight, though, bro, you could have held that bitch for like a month until he's out of contract type shit. In my personal opinion.
All I'm saying is when we have these conversations in the future, because this won't be the last time we have a conversation like this. When the question at hand is, yo, was this company right or wrong for taking down this individual for posting whatever? The response should not be just, I mean, it's a private company. They're in their rights to do so. They're in their rights to do so. Because again, that's just not answering the question to me. That's all I gotta say.
To answer your question, there can be some separation, which is fine. I think that the ideology behind it matters, but I know niggas will say that that's not consistent. But the ideology behind it matters. Yeah. If it's anti something that is actively being disenfranchised, discriminated against, like people are getting killed, all this, that, and the third, that's a different conversation than something that's a pro movement that's for the empowerment of or X, Y, and Z of. I don't know.
Nah, man, that's bullshit. Because I sat there and asked you verbatim when we had this conversation, Omar. I said, if it's something that you morally agree with or you don't find wrong, like I said, if I don't find it wrong and it blows the bag, fuck it, I'm with my guy. I'm not going to condemn him or nothing like that. I'm with him. You said verbatim, fuck all that. It's about the bag and y'all niggas don't need to be blowing the bag and if you fucking up for the business, it's for the business. We kicking.
Oh, that's a different conversation. Like Sage just said to be, I would say something different to be souls. I'm not gonna lie. And
this is exactly what I had. Why I said what I said was because watching the last pod, we were just having like 5 different conversation points into one. That's the only reason I brought up anything I brought up.
Damo, I would have a different conversation with B Souls, especially if they gave an opportunity. If B Souls tweeted that, they called us and said, "Hey, oh shit, we don't like that tweet that B Souls put out. We're not trying to get into politics. Walk it back." And B Souls, especially that it's different because he's by himself. Now, mind you, he has a wife or whatever, but we're all committed to each other. If we got off that phone call, all 4 of us need to be on that phone call. We got on that phone call. B Souls said, "Don't worry about it. I got y'all." And then we get on here today and B Souls says, "Yeah, you know what? Shouts out to the Asians, man. Hey, man, like me. Okay. All right. This is crazy at that point."
Hey, this shit is
yeah. All right. Sure. So I think I've been clear, but for me, it depends on the context, and that's the boring answer, but it's true. If Souls is actively bashing a group of people and they don't want him to do that, but he can't resist the urge to bash said people, all right, bro, you blowing it, bro. Like, what's up with you? If he is promoting something or even something like, or even himself, and they're like, yeah, that's fine, and I'm not as necessarily evil, but we just don't want that being talked about, and he doubles down because he feels like they're like oppressing his opinion or something like that. At that point, I'm literally gonna be like, damn, all right, fuck it, and we gone type shit. Like I'm not gonna be mad because it's like, nah, he's a human, nigga. Like, do what you gotta do.
But I said that, and I was like, if I'm, all right.
I thought I made this clear.
Sage was straight. It was me and you that was having a disagreement, and I still feel like that's wrong. Even if you said Black Lives Matter or something like that, and they came to us, I'll say it right here on the podcast. Niggas don't make money. I promise you, it don't fret me none. If you said, yo, Black Lives Matter, this, that, and the third, and whoever was sponsoring us said, hey, we just don't want to get into politics right now, that comes with a different connotation that we're not ready to handle, blase, blase, blah. You say, all right, cool. Hey, y'all, cool. I got it. Then we get on a podcast, and unbeknownst to us, you say, yo, man, shouts out to the niggas, man, Black Lives. Me, all right, bro. What the fuck are y'all doing?
Okay.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
gonna say.
yeah. I'm gonna ask what you're doing. I'm gonna be on your side at the end of the day, but I'm gonna definitely be upset. I can't make that clear. Yeah, I don't think your issues
Types
with
of
me though.
people in this world, chat.
It can be two types of people in this world. I know the average American makes like $35,000 to $40,000.
I knew what he was about to say.
I
Broken rich guys.
No,
Head
yes,
ass.
there's two types of people.
Head ass,
and I
bro.
can say, and
Oh,
I
you
know,
talking about me?
I know
talking
that
about
we're
me.
not supposed to do that as like a platform. You're definitely not supposed to talk down on it. I know people don't make a lot of money, and I'm not saying sacrifice for the bag, but I know people aren't even in situations where they have to sacrifice for the bag. They're fumbling between like minimum wage job to minimum wage job. And that's the reality of the situation. So once you're put in a situation where you have the opportunity to fight the fight later or differently, or maybe put your morals to the side a little bit for this, because ain't nobody finna sit here and say that Omar's anti-black because he did this, then the third. They wouldn't dare say that. They know that's not true. So it is what it is. Hey,